PJ called, so I have no idea where I was at. But I wanted to bring Cam to the house, and my mom wasn't into it. You know, she knew the family, and she was like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be hanging out with that crowd. And I was like, you know, Mom, that's so unfair. Because, like, I mean, she was like in her 60s, and I was like, it's like 2000 and something, Mom. What the F? Like, let me bring my friend over. Who cares? And so I didn't listen to her. Just let me bring her to the house. It's no big deal. So we hung out and everything was good. And I mean, like, we almost acted like sisters together. I mean, we had a blast together. But my mom, you know, still felt weird about her. So it kind of started with she came over and I fell asleep. And then she ran my mom's on demand bill up. Because back then I didn't have internet and we only had on demand. And so she rented a bunch of movies and stuff. I mean, I rented some with her, but then I fell asleep and she stayed up just renting stuff back to back to back. And, you know, it put Mom in a really hard position. And so she was pissed off at her for a while. And then, I mean, like, I was hanging out with her and stuff, but, like, our relationship was just kind of, like, I don't know, I just wasn't as into it. Like, I loved her and everything, but I just didn't, the click wasn't there as good as what, like, you can like someone, but that doesn't mean that you have to be like their best friend, you know, because like sometimes it's not you or their fault, it's just you're different people, you know. So we were going to give her a makeover, and she had really pretty long hair, and it was kind of like Taylor Swift's hair, you know, like when it was all permed out looking and stuff, and that's just how her hair was. And her head was really tender, and she had a really hard time like getting her hair straight or anything. And so I was good at makeup even then. And I just, well, I don't know if I was really good at it, but I just like to play with it and stuff. So she wanted me to give her a makeover. So it was a school night. She came over. I was doing her hair in the sink, and I was washing it. I didn't see anything. I didn't notice anything. It was the night before school. I was going to straighten her hair that night. And then when we woke up, I was going to straighten it just a little bit more. That way we didn't have to straighten it when we got up, when we were like dog tired, you know. So, because she had a lot of hair. And it was hard to even work with her hair because she was so tender headed. I mean, like, you could barely touch her head and just, ow. So, I had my work cut out for me. So, uh, I was gonna brush all her knots out of her hair while it was wet after I got done washing it in the sink. So I was doing that, and I was putting a conditioner treatment in it. And when I was doing that and putting a hair mask in her hair, I seen, guys, a big fat ass lice bug crawl across her head. And it disturbed me, to say the least. I was like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say I never caught lice, because I had I'm not going to say who, but like I had a certain someone in my life when I was young that I kept getting it off of. And my mom would torture me trying to get it out of my hair because I had such thick hair. And like when I seen that, it brought me back to like when I was a kid, like when I was like 5 years old, you know, like 6 and 7 years old. Like I never caught lice. And when I did, it was from that certain girl. And so I was just freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just said, uh, Cam, I don't know how to tell you this, but I just seen a lice bug crawl across your head. You know, like I freaked out. You know, I didn't know what to do. And I was passive aggressive. So I didn't want to make my friend upset or hurt her feelings, you know. So she was like, well, yeah, I know. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you know you have lice? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, the hell? Yeah, well, my mom can't afford to get the treatment for it. And I was thinking, really? You know, that sucks. Damn, you know. So I instantly felt bad. But then I also felt like, why did you come to my house to give it to me? You know what I mean? Like, damn. And my mom, I mean, her parents made way more money than what my mom did. So I did not understand the correlation there, you know. So I had to tell my mom, and my mom raked up the last bit of money that she had, and she drove us to Walmart And I went and got like 3 lice treatments. And my mom stayed up all night doing my hair, her hair, and I think my mom even did her hair just in case, that because I don't want lice, she didn't want lice, we didn't want lice. And then my mom also like went around the house putting things in the washer and vacuuming and doing whatever you can do pretty much. So I can say I didn't catch it. So that was one good thing. So we stayed up all night doing that. I just remember feeling so mad at Cam because I have this thick ass hair and here I am having to do a damn lice treatment with this fucking ass little comb. And like, I mean, I was just pissed. I was so mad. And I mean, I didn't have long hair like I do now, thank God. It was like probably to here. But, oh man, I was pissed. And my mom, she had to do my head and her head. And Cam was sensitive headed and she had a lot of hair just like me. But she had even more hair and she was eat up. Those things were big. They had been in her head for a while. And it just, oh man, just made my whole body skin crawl. So I got like an hour of sleep. And Mom made me go to school, of course. And Cam got sent to school. And my mom just told me, she said, Krystal, don't have her down here for a while until you know that she's not getting that again. And I said, yeah, I know, I won't. So a couple weeks pass. I think like a month passed. And I just don't feel like hanging out either. You guys ever get that way? You just don't feel like hanging out with someone? So she was wanting to come over to the house. And I was young, and I didn't know how to express that I just didn't want to hang out with anyone. So I lied. And I told Cam that I had an uncle die in Ohio. I live in Kentucky. And that we had to go there, which is a horrible lie. I didn't even have an uncle. I mean, like, I did, but, like, not in Ohio. So, I was stupid. And then I told 2 other girls that rode my bus about what I did. Because I'm an asshole. I don't know. I was just a bully for doing that. I shouldn't have done that. But then they told her what I said, even after I told them, don't tell her what I said. Of course, because, fuck everything, right? Just make a drama, make something happen on the bus. So she finds out about it, and she gets so mad at me. I mean, she gets pissed. And then, like, at the time, she knew that I was getting took out of my classes for testing and all that. This is the reason I had to tell you guys the special ed story. So I can tell you other things. Like, things have to work up, and I don't want to keep going back and explaining myself about everything. And she knew that I had learning issues and stuff. And so she decided that she was going to hang out with my friend Elise. Well, that was fine. I got really sick freshman year, and I had Lyme disease, and I was out for like a week, like in the beginning of school, a whole ass week. And I came back, and I was like, do you miss me? Did you miss me, guys? We didn't miss you. And I was like, okay. So, and then like pretty much the whole year, I just kind of dealt with it. She just absolutely despised me because she found out that I lied about someone dying, so she couldn't come to my house and I didn't have to go to hers. Which is pretty bad, so I couldn't say too much, so I felt kind of bad, and I was just like, well, maybe I just deserve it, so over time I would come up to the friend group and everything, and she'd be like, oh, there's Krystal, and she would talk stupid, and like everything I said she would repeat it, and she would say it in like a stupid way, like everything I said was just dumb. I couldn't even say, hey guys, hi guys, my friend Elise didn't know how bad Cam was actually getting to me. So I go to my friend Elise's house and see Elise's walls. Okay, so her parents lived in an A-frame and they just never finished the walls. So in Elise's, they built their house from the ground up. So Elise, her room, she just had like drywall. She had a nice house though, but she had drywall in her room. And so what she done, she just, drew on it, had posters, whatever. So it was kind of the fun thing at Elisa's house. When you got there, you could draw on her walls, you could go sign her walls. There was no rules about her walls. You could do whatever the hell you wanted. So it was pretty cool. So, and I mean, you wouldn't see every little bitty thing on her walls because there's just so much. Like, I wish I had a picture to put up of what I'm talking about. Like, it was like a graffiti zone. So I came across a thing about, I seen a thing where Cam had wrote something shitty on my wall, on Elisa's walls, and I got upset and I just covered up anything that she wrote with purple paint. And I finally told Elise exactly how I felt about Cam, and I expressed how much anger I had and how upset I was. And I mean, I might have even cried, I don't really know. And so Elise didn't really ever realize how bad it was, and then she equally got just as mad as I did, because Cam was holding this crazy grudge against me for so long, and she just kept going, and she just wasn't going to stop. Like, there was no end to that. So y'all don't know this, but when I get mad, I'm retarded. Like, I just will say whatever the fuck I want to say. Like, if I'm mad, get the fuck out the way, because like, I'm gonna ruin your life. And that's how I was. Like, but I'm not really much of a fighter or anything, but I will protect my family. And I guess if things drive me crazy enough, I will fuck you up. So this was back in the MySpace days, okay, guys? And I write Cam on MySpace, and I'm like, listen, screw you. I don't really know what all I said. It was really bad, though. I was so mad. I might have even told her I was going to kill her. That's how mad I was. It was bad, okay? And, like, I was young. I was, like, 14 years old, so, give me a break. So, I just pretty much told her that I knew a bunch of stuff on her and that I was going to tell everyone at school, because I'm tired of being bullied by you, and you pushed me far enough, and bitch, it's over now, and the first day of school I'm going to fight your ass, and as soon as I see you, I'm fighting you. And I mean, I blew a lot of smoke, but I was pissed, and I really planned on it. I was like, I'm doing this shit. Fuck her. I'm doing it. So the funny thing about this is, okay, so Elise gets on there and writes her a god-awful message, too. I don't think Elise said she was going to whoop her or anything. She could have, I don't know. But we wasn't going to jump her together or anything. We wasn't going to do that, But she was way bigger than me. She was tall and bigger, just bigger, a bigger girl. So the first day of school came, and I had all intentions in on whooping her ass. A few months... Well, no, not what am I saying, a few months? A few weeks before school started, she wrote me again on MySpace, and she was like, hey, don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. My dad's little, he can fight. She was like, I don't want to fight you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you don't want to fight me, but you want to make fun of me, and it's not an option. No, fuck that. You're getting what you deserve. I'm not doing this. Like, the first day, we're fighting. It's happening. I don't care. So the first day of school comes, and I'm looking around for her, and I don't see her anywhere. It's sophomore year. And I don't see her anywhere. Like, I'm, like, asking Elise. I was supposed to have homeroom with Cam, and I'm looking for Cam everywhere, and Cam's nowhere. So I'm just like, okay, well, maybe, she's sick or something. I don't know. Maybe she chickened out and she's just not here the first day. So then the second day came, no Cam. We did our school pictures, like our summer pictures, I don't know, spring, I don't know. And she still wasn't there. And I was like, okay. So then I find out that Cam switched schools and went to the county that she was in between two counties, and she went over to the other county. And absolutely died when I found.
Life was dull until